So what to make of the unusual? The recent spectacle of Sam Rainsy, the opposition leader, consorting with Mr. Hun Sen.
To consort with someone, or to consort, means to accompany. So it has multiple meanings. One of the original meanings was a ship that went along with another ship. Got this big ship, so you got this little ship that sort of goes along with the big ship, and that was called a consort. Similarly, a king, his wife or mistress was oftentimes referred to as a consort, and the idea was that they didn't have that much real power, that they were sort of companions, but they didn't get very closely involved with the activities of power. And consort can also just mean to associate. For example, parents will oftentimes tell their kids, don't consort with bad people. Only associate with good people. And so in this sense, consort just means to associate with or keep company. Now, nowadays, you can use the word, but most people would just say to go hang out with somebody or to associate with somebody. And one of the reasons for this is because consort has become associated with the idea of a mistress or some sort of illicit companionship, which is not what it originally meant, but unfortunately the word sort of got polluted by getting used as a euphemism in this capacity. And so now if you use the euphemism or you use the word not as a euphemism, people take it to mean something negative, or they can take it as something negative. One of the most important things for politicians to try to remember, as hard as this might be, is not to consort with prostitutes, because eventually the public will find out, and when they do, it ruins the politician's career. There was this politician who actually did get caught consorting with prostitutes, and she said, "I'm not a prostitute, I'm a consort." A lot of times people commit crimes and they go to jail. When they get out of jail, oftentimes on probation or parole, one of the conditions is that they do not consort with known criminals. If they do, they can go back to jail.
How long the AMITY will last is unclear.
AMITY refers to friendship. And unfortunately, it's kind of a strange word because it sounds a lot like enmity, which means hatred, which seems to make sense because a lot of times friendship and hatred, they're actually fairly closely related to each other for some strange reason. Amity is a noun, so typically it's used as a possession. So you will say somebody has amity with someone else, which just means they have friendship with someone else, or you could just say they are friends with someone else. Amity is also related to the word amiable. Ami means friend. So amiable means friendly, amity means friendship. Normally with everyday people, you wouldn't say they have amity. It's a overly formalized word for a very informal relationship. So most of the time, amity is used to describe relationships between organizations, countries, and countries. After the Cold War, people thought that there would be a great potential for amity between the United States and Russia. But then what happened is Russia got into some troubles, and as part of how they wanted to come back and recover themselves economically, they did a few things that the West was not completely happy with. So unfortunately, that amity has broken down, and the U.S. and Russia are rivals again, even though on the surface things are pretty friendly. People go to Russia, Russians come here. Generally the people like each other, even if the government relations are not so great. A number of years ago in Rwanda, there was a very unfortunate genocide between two tribes, the Hutu and the Tutsi. The Tutsi are fairly well known as being very tall, so it was very easy for them to figure out who the Tutsi were. And after the genocide, there's a hope nowadays that in the future that they will be able to live in amity with each other and not kill each other again. ESL-fullsteamahead.com